Welcome back to the British Mini Bikes here at Wilton Mill, and we have a very special guest who has literally just come off the track, Joanna Benz. And Joanna, we were talking about things being a bit cold out there. How are you finding the track?
It is quite cold. I'm actually snotty and I have been all day, but the track is quite grippy, so it's not too bad. I'm running slicks, which I didn't think were good for this weather, but they're actually fantastic and grippy tires. So you don't really suffer the weather when you're out there. It feels nice and warm.
So the latest of our special guests, and for those who don't know who you are, just give us a little bit of an intro of who you are and what you do.
Well, I guess I just run this blog where I talk about bikes from a female perspective, from a novice rider perspective, and a short, small rider perspective. And all these things come in handy here because I'm actually quite small and light on a bike, so the bigger boys struggle to overtake me purely because I'm smaller.
And of course, this series has got a couple of leading ladies out there in some of the junior classes. But you must have enjoyed seeing that, especially with your blog as well. You must have enjoyed watching how they go around the track.
Yes, that is so inspiring to see girls who are not just held their own, they're actually super fast. There's Chloe here who won the championship. She's 12 years old and she's so fast. There's Ava I've done one session with her yesterday and she was flying out there. And it's really cool to see for a girl that there are girls out there and no one is going to walk up to them and say, you're quite fast for a girl. No, she's just fast in a group of men.
Well, that's it, of course. I mean, we're looking at Chloe as well. We don't say she's fast for a girl. We're saying how fast she is because she absolutely hauls it around the track. Yeah, of course. And there's some, to be fair, there's some good riders out there as well. So, I don't think anybody really says she's fast for a girl either, does she? I think they've taken her in as a racer, pure and simple.
I'm guessing, yeah, in this word, I'm guessing no one ever will dare to say that because you generally have girls who are winning and are faster than a whole bunch of men. So in any other word, I often hear, you know, you're doing really well for a girl, you're going quite fast for a girl. But here, Chloe is winning. She's the fastest out of all of them, and I don't know how many girls are in her class, but she's the fastest out of all the people.
I think that's a good thing with motorcycling as well in general, for of course British mini bikes as well, but it's almost a bit like, say, the world of, say, equestrian or horse riding. It's one of the few sports where ladies and gentlemen, of course, they race together and they're almost seen as equals, really.
Yes, but we do have our strengths and we do have things that we struggle with. So for a girl riding a bigger bike, we do struggle wrestling it, and we don't affect the steering as much with our own weight. So in a small bike, it's actually brilliant because I carry so much more corner speed because my bike doesn't slow down as much underneath me as it does underneath a big lad. Where on the big bikes, I have to wrestle the thing a lot more, where a big lad can just move on the bike and change the direction of the bike. So there are pros and cons of being big or small on a big or smaller bike, and we just have to face it all. And I think it's fine that we all race against each other in one group. There's no need to separate ladies and men, I don't think.
Which is always very good as well, isn't it? It's inspiring. Whereabouts have you come from?
I'm from Poland, but I've been based in the UK 12 years now, yes.
So it's something new to you as well, the mini bikes?
The mini bikes I have never tried before. This is my first time on a pit bike and first time racing as well. So I knew nothing about these bikes, and I keep asking why no one talks about it. Because everywhere I go, someone always tries to force something on me. They say, you should really try track riding, or you should really try enduro, you should really try off-roading. But no one ever came to me and said, you should try pit bikes. And I'm going to be the one to tell everyone, you should really try pit bikes.
And you're in a very competitive class as well. How are you finding it out there?
I'm racing 3 classes, and in none of them I'm the slowest, which I'm finding just remarkable. But it's good fun. There's some really fast people. I have BSB boys in my class, in my group, so that's quite intimidating. But they're really fast, and their overtakes are fine because they just happen so quick. It's the people who are just slightly slower or faster than me, and they kind of hesitate through the corners that make me feel uneasy. Oh, that's it.
And of course, looking at those knee slides, there were 1 or 2 scuffs on there, I think. Oh, yep, there we go.
I have, yes. I finally it's happening. It turns out, and this is fun thing to say, it turns out that it wasn't my lean angle or the speed that I was struggling with. It was the whole body position was wrong, because I came here yesterday and I started grinding my foot pegs. They were like, if you're grinding your foot pegs, you should be grinding your knees as well. What's happening? So they worked on my Ty, who's coaching me whole weekend. He worked on my body position, and yes, I'm getting my knee down now. It's a clockwise circuit, so it's just the right
on that one, isn't it?
I'm struggling with the left because there's only 3.
One would suspect, is that mostly on that first corner as well? That's got to be a good sign.
Sorry, say again.
Is that mostly on the first corner you getting the knee down, or?
No, there's one at the back. there's
the
a
top
back
of the hill.
straight, and then there's top of the hill. That's my favorite.
Christmas
island
corner.
there.
It's at the very top of the
Yeah.
hill, isn't it?
And the hairpin, ironically, became my favorite, which I didn't like it at first, but I'm actually really enjoying it. It's the slowest corner here.
It's
but
a
it's fun.
tricky part of the track, isn't it? So
It
good
is.
to see you've dialed it in anyway.
I found my line there, and I found my confidence there, and I actually sent someone in the gravel there now, because he was trying to kind of have a go at me, and I held my line, and he crashed out behind me. I'm sorry about it, whoever it was.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be okay. It's part of racing, isn't it? Robin's racing at the end of the day. And Matt, have you found it this weekend with Joanna on board?
I think we've had fun, haven't we? It's been good fun.
Yeah.
How have you found obviously, people, I know what we've been together, but how you found the coaching? How you found, when you came here on Saturday morning, very, very nervous, have you found a nice progression throughout the weekend? Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I think Ty has been, he doesn't talk too much, but he makes a very valid point. So I wasn't overloaded with information, which was brilliant. And I really like, it's MotoGP style coaching, is it called? Where you get coaching here and then you go out and do the thing. I find it very difficult to watch someone in front of me and do what they're doing and still look out for my corner. So I find it a little easier to be coached in the pit lane and then go out and just do what I was told to do. So he worked on my body position with me, so I'm getting my knee down now, which is amazing. There's a lot that he fixed in my riding, and this is the style of riding where you usually do all the riding and bike does nothing for you. So it's both rewarding but quite humbling. So I really liked how he said, you change this and everything will get easier, and it does. So it's been fun actually applying everything he said and then just watch how it changes my riding.
Do you think you'll be able to take this back to you, because you ride a HP4 on the road, do you think you'll be able to take this onto your big bike and help?
Yes, and I cannot wait. I'm flying out to Almeria in 3 weeks, and I cannot wait to try it all, because it's just completely changed how I ride now. I'm not scared to carry the corner speed. It's true what they say, the faster you go, the easier it is. I've been scared to try this on a big bike, because everything happens so much quicker. But here I got to see this, like, it is a lot easier to make a corner when you carry enough corner speed to get you through the corner. So I cannot wait to apply it all, yeah.
Good.
And of course, one thing it's worth asking about is, obviously you're a very experienced motorcyclist, but new to pit bikes. A lot of people come into this raw and they have the coaching as well. Have you found things to pick up in terms of getting used to the pit bike?
I feel like this is probably the style of riding where you can learn the quickest. So it's the most rewarding style. Because with big bikes on big circuits, there's so much more at stake. The crashes are so much bigger. The bikes are so much more expensive. I mean, the bikes that you usually see on a big circuit, they're around £10,000. This pit bike is 1,500, and the damage is 20 quid if you fall off. So it's completely different risk you take, and it's kind of giggles if you just low side. You get up and you carry on. So because you're willing to risk more. Well, you're willing to go that much further because the risk isn't really there. You learn so much quicker.
That's an interesting point, actually. Like you say, if you crash a bigger bike, you're looking at a huge repair bill. At least it's still a terrible bill, but it's not quite so bad, is it? You can concentrate on the bikes and the riding. And
it's just the money. I've had offs on big bikes, and not once have I been able to get back on the bike and go out. The bike was messed up, and so was I. So it's just completely different risk. Where you have people here who crashed out 4 times yesterday, and every time they picked up the bike, started again, and carried on. So you learn where your limit is so much easier, but you pay very low price for it too.
I must say, as a commentator's point of view, that's actually quite interesting, because in motocross, that's usually a sport where, most of the time, of course, when they get off the bike's not too damaged, they can get it back on and carry on in the race. So it is good, even if you spin it on the first corner. We've seen riders coming through in various races in British mini bikes throughout the year where they've crashed, but they managed to salvage a good result as well. So that's always a good thing. Yeah,
and then from this, you always can learn. This is what I've done wrong. Too much gas mid-corner, or whatever you've done wrong, you learn, and then you can try again immediately. Where I've crashed because I did something wrong, and then I had to fix the bike. It took 3 months. I had to recover from injuries. It took 2 months. So before you can try again, it takes so long. Where here you have 40 seconds, dust yourself off, and just carry on.
So of course, as an experienced rider, you would say that the pit bike sort of aspect of the sport is something to give a go if you've never done it before.
And yes, and whatever level you are, because it's so refreshing to see the BSB riders here with us practicing or getting some riding on. I don't know what they get out of this, but by the numbers, you can say that this is beneficial to a very experienced rider. But then for a newbie like me, where I've never touched the with bike before, and yesterday I didn't know. I was like, oh, everything's just so different. The neutral's all the way down. There's just 4 gears. There's no slipper clutch. And from that, I was able to progress to overtaking people today in one weekend. That is, I've gotten so much out of this. It's probably the most progress I've ever made within a weekend.
Well, this sounds very exciting. I think we're in for a treat when the racing gets underway. We'll put me and Howard in the commentary
can't wait
box.
to see it. I
Looking
mean,
forward to this.
I've been watching watching how you progress all weekend. And this morning we had a good chat earlier on, and the way in which you've just taken to it, we were talking about it on about, I guess, riders been all good this season. But again, cut from the same cloth, you've done so well. Absolutely phenomenal. You know, you progressed so well yesterday, and this morning I was stood out there watching you qualify, and I was like, come on, keep going.
It is fun because I can hear people coming up behind me now, and I can feel them creeping up on me, and they actually struggle to do me mid-corner because my bike doesn't slow down as much as theirs. And then on straights, I'm quite quick as well because I'm smaller, I guess, and lighter. And yesterday, I had yesterday or this morning, someone stood me up mid-corner and they said, hold your line, and they will have to get off the line to overtake you. And I was going to hit the apex, but I saw him so close. I thought, we're either going to crash in that apex or I'm going to get off the line. So I picked up the bike and I let him through. And then I said to him, you stood me up in our session. He went, well, that's racing, isn't it? I thought, that's a little harsh. But then I went out for the next session, and there was this guy creeping up on me, and he was going to steal my line. I was like, no, I'm going to hold my line. And his wheel touched my leg, and we were actually filming this, and we watched the footage. He did touch my leg, and he did crash out. I did hold my line, so I guess it is racing.
So it certainly sounds like you've picked up got the skills, of course, but picked up the racecraft as well.
The bad habits, yeah, with the...
I thought it's that first corner.
My line,
You'll see her go to that first corner, just be like that.
But you know, it's so different to me because I'm always like, oh, is everyone okay? Wherever I go, I'm a mom and I look after everyone. And on the track, I was like, is everyone okay? Oh, I don't want to frighten you. But now it's like, no, get off my line. This is my line. You're not going to take it from me.
Now, Matt was telling me that you're doing a double entry course, 2 class, even going out in the vets as well. How are you finding things? We've got the fatigue on one hand, but also you've got plenty of track time to keep warm and learn the track as well. How are you finding things doing so much riding out there?
Well, this is first and foremost for me, it's fun. So I just want to, once I'm out there, I just want to ride as much possible. I don't really get tired until I get home after the whole weekend and I go, oof, that was tiring. But now yesterday, every time I came back, I was like, Matt, when can I go out again? So in the end, he was like, do you want to go in vets as well? I was like, yeah, I'd love to. And vets actually is the nicest group, I think, because the overtake's a lot more gentle. You can tell that they don't really want to be bumping fairings or crashing. So that's probably the most enjoyable group. But I'm enjoying it all because it's all very different groups, different pace, different overtakes, different lines. Everything's a little bit different in every group, but it's the more riding you get done, the more you learn.
So definitely the track time's more beneficial than the physical aspect, you'd say?
100%, yeah. I'm okay with the physical aspect. I probably wouldn't be able to do that again tomorrow, but 2 days is just about all right.
And Wilton Mill, of course, it's one of our most popular tracks. As you've seen, the paddock's absolutely rammed full of vans and vehicles here this weekend. Very popular track with the riders. What do you think of it?
I love it because there's a little bit of everything on the track. There are some technical corners, there are some fast corners, there's it's not a very large track, so it's nice that you do 45 seconds and then if you mess up a corner you get to do it again in 45 seconds and then again. So I really like the circuit itself. The layout is fun. It's just I wish it was anti-clockwise. I hate right-handers and I like left-handers. Mind you, this is the most I've ever enjoyed right-handers.
I know, but I'd say you've learned, you crack it on now with right-handers, aren't you?
I'm actually comfortable diving into, because if you saw me on a big circuit, left-handers I just dive into and I'm absolutely fine and it all feels comfortable. Right-handed, it feels like I'm doing everything wrong and it's just, I kind of want to go into it, but I don't, so I struggle. And here, I'm happy to actually go into right-handers.
Why do you think it's because obviously you got your throttle in your right hand and you're worried about controlling the throttle goes to the corner?
No, I'm just left-bodied. I do everything with left. So I'm right-handed, but I feel like if I wasn't made to ride when I was a child with right hand, I probably would be left-handed. But I do everything, like my left hand is stronger, my left side of the body is just, I always start walking with the left foot. I don't know, I'm just left-bodied, so I do everything with left better than the right. Not sure why. And same on the bike. Yeah.
I think we have to say, Matt, of course, that if there's any sort of track where we need to be thrown at the deep end with cornering with the right, it's this one with the pit bend, of course. And that first corner, we got the left-hand flick. And that big, long right-hander, it's certainly something you have to learn quickly.
I quite like this one. It's just I'm scared a little bit to get on the gas there because there's a rumble strip that is quite dodgy. So if you leaned over then getting on the gas, it feels all sorts of wrong. But it again teaches you that sometimes things are not smooth. It's kind of all over the place and it feels like you're on the verge of crashing, but it's okay because you're still not going to crash. You know?
So your goals for today in terms of the racing, how are you looking to get on out there?
Not being... I thought I would be starting from the back of the grid. I'm very curious to find out how I qualified because in all the classes I overtook people. So maybe they still managed a faster lap than me at some point, but I'll be happy not to be the last, and I'll be happy to help my own. And I don't really want to come off, but it's all right if I will, but hopefully not.
Well, so I suppose you're a guest rider, somebody else might pick up the bill at least.
It's just hurting yourself, you know. The bikes are fixable, it's just us that take longer.
I think Shimmy had it shiny side up, didn't he? Once
He
or
did.
twice, didn't he?
Yeah,
So,
full back, he went through the bus stop and I think his front wheel caught someone and it just flipped it. But
Ironically, there's...
you're in 22nd in the vets.
How many vets do we have? 22?
No.
It says nothing until we...
I think there's about 25 in there. I'm pretty sure there's. Well, I've looked, but you're 22nd in the vets. I don't know where you're...
It's 25, so I'm 22nd out of 25
That's
in
it.
the vets.
And right, during the vets, don't forget, they're all club races.
Are they really?
Yeah.
I just thought it was just like...
No,
let's just have a
no, a lot of them are ex-club races.
What, really?
Like Thundersport and all sorts. Yeah.
Do we have any other results? I really want to see how I did with the BSB boys.
We're going to have a look at him in
Oh
Italy.
my God.
You've done really, really well.
I think the interview's taken a back seat now. It's the races
Yeah.
taking over now.
So
Did we get
do
on with it?
But you know what's quite interesting is if you have, because I think this is where men struggle a bit more, and this is where women, we can play it to our advantage, where we are not as affected by others, so you compete with each other, where I only compete with myself, and that's what most women do. I was talking to Jenny Tinmouth, 25th out of 26, 25th out of 26 in the 160s.
In 160s.
Not the last, is good.
Well, that's a good class, to be
Yeah.
fair, isn't it? 160.
Is
So
that
if
in the
you
B group?
get ahead of anyone, that's an achievement, I'd say, because they've been racing all season as well,
Yeah.
don't forget.
That's where the BSB boys are.
That's in the B group, so they've got the top 30, and then you'll be 25th in the B.
But in the B group, I have BSB boys.
Most of them will be in the A group. But,
They were in my group. I've
okay.
had
In the
three.
qualifying section,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that will change it.
Okay. We need to wrap up.
Yes.
But you're talking about.
Well, it sounds like they're getting ready to go. So are you all psyched up and ready for that? That's a good result for you, of course, there. And as you say, Matt, of course, those are against guys who've been racing all season. They've been out all year to get acclimatised with the bike. So you've come in here fresh and not last. It's not patronising, of course.
No,
it is good not to
yeah.
be last, I think.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm considering. I thought I would just be so at the back and so just sort of going for a stroll every session, and that I can actually compete with at least a handful of boys here. It is. I'm actually really, really pleased with
I
that.
think that's a good attitude to have as well. It's not so much competing against the other riders, but more against the track and yourself, really. That's
Yeah.
a good attitude to have, I think, especially as a newcomer.
And there's a lot we can learn from men, but men should learn from women. That it's actually really cool to just compete against yourself, and just as long as you're getting better than yesterday, that's fine. So I'm still in that mindset today, but all the boys seem to be racing against each other. So there's a lot of crashes today, a lot of people, and they not crash with each other. They kind of just lose it because they go too fast and they try too hard. So I feel this is where women kind of, our mindset is a massive advantage, because I just keep going steady, and I find it easier today, and I'm smoother today than I was yesterday, where the boys are all over the place.
And that might be useful, you might say, starting from the back. It's going to be quite busy out there at the back, so that first lap, just stay out of trouble and stay cool, ride the track, and let it settle down for a couple of laps and start picking away.
I promise you, I have zero interest in going shoulder to shoulder into the first corner, so I probably will hold back a little bit and kind of take it easy. I'm not quite sure.
I think we're going to see something different.
I can't say, but then everything kind of changes. I'm not going to go, I'm just going to go.
I've seen your game face when you're at the bar. You're like talking, you're like, yeah, The red mist descends, and you're like, boom.
I think what I say, Matty, I've said those very same words myself sometimes. I'm just going to let it, settle down a bit. And I'm sure you've said the same in your racing as well. When the flag drops or the gate drops, whatever discipline you're in, it does sometimes
I can't
change.
wait to see it. I think the elbows are going to come out. I think the red mist is going to...
I can't do race starts. I've never done a
But
race
so
start,
this is your first ever race, isn't it? First
I've
time.
never raced before. I've done a fun race on a track, which was on a track event, so that's very different. And everything kind of went just quiet, and I had like a tunnel vision, and it was epic. But this is different. I'm excited, but I can't promise I will behave how I usually behave. I have no idea what's going to happen, to be honest.
Well, just get out there and enjoy. That's what it's all about, isn't it, Matt, I would say?
Yeah, and I'm definitely enjoying so far everything, every step of the way. So I'm looking forward to just trying. Yeah.
And I'm sure some of our younger lady riders will be looking up to you out there in the big class, and it's been a great thing for them as well to see you out there.
I don't know, I'm looking up to Chloe and Ava. Ava, I think, is 20 and Chloe is 12. And they come to me and say, good luck, you're doing really well. And they're so sweet. But it's just nice to have girls here who are not like, yeah, we're going to be okay. No, they're actually proper impressive. So I'm actually looking up to them.
Oh, and Chloe's a rider, isn't she, has to be said, on that mini GP. I've been watching her all season. And
She's on the CRF next season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's on the big 150 next season.
That's impressive. That's so impressive. Yeah.
So definitely one to look out for in the future, you might say.
I think so. Yeah.
So I think we're ready to go out to onto the commentary points very shortly, and you've got, of course, get kitted up and out to those multitude of races. So thanks a lot, Joanna, for coming along, and I do hope you enjoy your afternoon's racing. Wish you the best of luck, of course.
I'm Jenny. Will be back for every round now. we'll be back. Yeah.